Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and you are watching The Rural Companion. I'm certain at this point that we have all seen the videos of the influencers heading to Target for a restock video of beauty care or skincare products. They end up putting perfectly curated packages in their cart or basket that have catchy names like Violet Victory, Honeydew Hype, Vanilla Cashmere. They end up purchasing the soap or body wash, the body lotion, the body oil, the body cream, the body mist, and we, the consumer, have been duped or tricked into thinking that this is a must-do for everyday life. The companies responsible for creating these bath and beauty products are typically just on the lookout for ways to remarket the same thing, but it's a new season, it's a slightly new recipe, it's a new flavor combination, or in fact, it's the same flavor combination. They just add one new scent to it to make it slightly different. We have frequently been told that we need a signature scent, that it must be layered upon layer, and if you do this correctly, you're gonna end up with 10 products with the same scent that you wear on Monday, and then on Tuesday you need a different scent, or maybe you use the same scent throughout the entire week, but you're gonna go through a lot of product very quickly. I may be going overboard a little bit here, but let's take a moment to actually calculate the cost of one of these signature scent lines from a trendy brand. First up, we have the body wash for $9.99, the shave oil for $7.99, the shave cream for $3.99. Now I'm assuming you only need one of those, either the oil or the cream. You're not probably buying both. The lotion for $9.99, the body spray for $12.89, and the matching lip butter for $6.99. Now you can find all of these conveniently at your local Target store or even online. If you were to buy all of those products, you would be spending around $47.85, and that is before you calculate tax and of course the gas that takes you to get to the store. Now of course the bottles are a substantial size, so for around this $50, you do get, I would say, at least a month's worth of products. So again, you're going to have to calculate, is this really worth it for me? But besides just the actual cost of buying these products, then you have the cost to your body. Now let's take a look at some of the chemicals in these products. So we have a handful of chemicals. Of course, there are some better quality brands that have better quality ingredients, but some of the more common ones, we have sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLES, and that's a chemical surfactant that can be dissolved in water and oil. It's derived from inexpensive raw materials. Now this is your ingredient that is known for creating a really rich lather in your commercial body products. It also makes it thicker and acts as a degreaser. So if your skin is covered in some sort of oil, say the shave oil that you used yesterday after yesterday's shower, this ingredient is going to help take the oil off of your skin. Now, it is actually in food and beauty products. I was shocked to see that it is in foods. It can cause allergic reactions. So for people that have eczema or already have issues with their skin, this can worsen those issues on top of creating new issues. For some people, it actually creates the opposite effect of a cleanser or degreaser and causes your skin to become more oily, which means you need to use it more frequently to feel clean. So another important thing to note, the cost on animal life or ocean life, once these products make their way into the ocean, they are non-biodegradable and they can cause harm to the animals in the ocean. Another product, we have Cocamidopropyl betaine. Betaine? I'm not sure how to pronounce these. That's my other thing. If you can't pronounce it, why are we putting these chemicals in our beauty products? But this is a chemical compound found in many personal care and household cleaning products. The abbreviation for it is CAPB. It is a surfactant, which means that when it interacts with water, it makes the molecules slippery so they don't stick together. Now, this is a synthetic or man-made fatty acid made from coconuts. So the product can be labeled natural, and still contain this chemical. Some people, again, have an allergic reaction to this. And in 2004, I know we've come a long way since 2004, but in 2004, this was listed as the allergen of the year. It can cause a tightness, redness, itchiness of your skin, which could be contact dermatitis. And it can also be very painful if you get this in your eye. Another common ingredient is phenoxyethanol. Phenoxyethanol. It's a preservative in many cosmetics and beauty care products. It's typically found in perfumes, fragrances, soaps, and cleansers. It is a stabilizer, so it acts like a preservative or an ingredient that is going to make sure that your product is shelf stable for a long time. Again, this is known to cause skin irritations and allergic reactions. It can cause just your regular rashes, your contact dermatitis, and eczema. And finally, this is thought to cause central nervous system damage in newborns. So to me, because I have a lot of skin issues, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure if it is diet or pollutants in the air or because we live in the country, I would rather not take the chance of using a commercial body wash or body care product with all of these chemicals. Now, I just picked 3 of the more severe chemicals, and there are a lot of other chemicals that don't cause significant problems, and there are chemicals that cause worse problems. These were just some of them, but I'm not interested in taking that chance just to smell a certain way to have my signature scent. I also have the interest and willingness to make my own products at home, which is what I have been doing for the past couple years. I have learned how to make soap and shampoo bars. I have been working on creating my own body butters, as well as hair oil, hair products, things that can make my beauty care routine healthier for my body, for my life, for long term. Now, a lot of the ingredients that I use are in my kitchen already. Olive oil, coconut oil, shea, and cocoa butter. Those I don't normally use in my kitchen. We have avocado, jojoba, castor oil. Again, these are things that are easy to find in either a health food store, in a craft store. You can even order them on Amazon. Okay, so some other ingredients that I frequently add to my soap that I make is honey, milk powder, oat powder, pumpkin puree, essential oils. Now, honey and milk powder both increase the lather, as does castor oil. So learning the different properties of each health food or natural ingredient can boost the quality and nutritional value of your soap. Pumpkin puree and oat powder are great for skin rashes and irritations. They're heavy, well, the pumpkin puree is heavy in vitamins A and E, and the essential oils do add some scent to the soaps if you are interested in going that route. Now, it is very subtle, and in my opinion, it's probably not completely worth adding the essential oils, other than initially it smells nice. The final ingredient that is part of your soap making process is lye. And yes, lye is a caustic chemical by itself, but when you mix it with the oils and the butters in the soap making process, you actually go through a process called saponification, and that turns the oils and butters into soap. Using lye for soap making is one of the oldest uses of lye. But yes, lye can also be used as a drain cleaner. It can also be used in making pretzels, which I am leery of that. Just again, why would I want to dip my food into a liquid? If you have tried that, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, the process of saponification happens when the lye reacts with fats or oils. Fats are built from a molecule called glycerol, bonded to 3 fatty acid chains. The lye breaks apart the bonds, freeing the glycerol, which becomes glycerin, a moisturizing byproduct, and converting the fatty acids into soap molecules. Okay, so of course, when you are making your own soap, you do need to use the utmost care and caution when you are using lye, because the lye is caustic and it can cause extreme burns to your skin. I have gotten one. Actually, we used to use lye as a drain cleaner, and that was when I had gotten a burn on my skin, and the burn continues to burn for an extensive period of time because the lye literally eats away at your skin and continues to do so. So you do need to wear gloves, eye protection, long sleeves. You want to protect your counters and your surfaces. And of course, the final safety measure, you always add the lye to water. And I actually repeat that to myself frequently when I'm about to mix the lye into the water. You never go water to lye, as that can cause a chemical reaction that would be very dangerous. Okay, so we have gone over why I don't think it's worth purchasing commercial soap products, why I have started making my own. Now let's go jump into my kitchen and make a bar of soap. We are making a coffee lard soap. So the first thing we need to do is take brewed coffee and pour it in an ice cube tray and freeze it for several hours. Because the lye causes a chemical reaction that will heat up the liquid, you want to make sure that you have frozen coffee or frozen milk. Frozen tea, if you are using anything besides water, essentially, you are going to freeze that prior to adding your lye. Of course, before you put the lye into your liquid, you always want to put your personal protection gear on. Once all of the lye has been added to the liquid, you can see that it quickly melts the frozen coffee. Give this a really good stir. Put your thermometer into the container and set it off to the side while you begin working on your fats. I am using lard that I processed many months ago and froze in ice cube and cupcake trays just to make it convenient for myself to measure. So I need to melt that in a double boiler to get it to roughly 110 degrees. That is the goal of the temperature for the fats, oils, and the lye to combine together properly. Once my oil is warm, I'm going to add my milk powder. Then I will carefully add my coffee lye solution. I will blend this with an immersion blender for a good while, and this probably takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get to trace, which is when the liquids have turned into that thicker, kind of almost a pudding consistency. Once your soap has reached the trace stage, you are going to add your various ingredients such as honey, ground coffee, any flavoring or scents that you would like to add. I am not using any additional scent in this loaf of soap, as the subtle coffee smell is sufficient for what I'm going for. I'll give this one final blend with the immersion blender before adding it into a prepared silicone loaf mold. Once it is in the mold, I do spritz the top of it with a spray bottle of alcohol, and then I am adding some dried coffee beans to the top just for a cutesy effect. I will sit this in a warm spot and let it harden for several days before cutting it.